Hello. Hi, everyone. So, if you can see me and hear me, can you give me a quick yes or no so that I know I'm audible and visible? Quick check. Oh, I can see people. Hi, Namita. Hi, Saransh. Hi, spectator. Good evening, you guys. Okay, I'm so happy that I'm visible and audible. Have you already hit the like button and shared the session with your friends and classmates and batchmates? If you haven't, then quickly do that before we begin. You can quickly share the session. फटाक से like को hit करो guys और share भी कर लो. Hi Adoksh. Hi Saksham. Good evening. I hope you guys are ready for today's session. So how was CLAT for you guys? I hope it went well. Even though CLAT logical was such a big surprise for all of us, but I'm just hoping that you guys did well with the exam. Yeah. So you've also got your answer keys and everything. So I hope everybody is happy with the way they performed. And now it's time for AILET, which of course is AILET. But I like AILET in the sense that they're always very systematic. They follow a pattern, a plan, and life is easier around AILET. So yeah, between CLAT and AILET, I've always found AILET to be a much more comfortable exam for that. Okay, ठीक the logical part was a setback, but I did make two mistakes like not checking. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, the logical part was a surprise for us also. Obviously, nobody expected that it would be just purely AR and nothing to do with logical reasoning at all. But when you looked at the questions, it wasn't as if the questions could not be solved, right? So therefore, I'm just hoping that you were able to solve the questions. The only set that I solved in the logical reasoning while we were creating the solutions was that Aarti one, where something had been, a medallion had been stolen and something happened. So I really, Shravan, patience, dude. If you're going to message bomb me, at least say, ma'am, I love you, or say, ma'am, you're the best, something like this. I was already talking about something, no? So be patient. I'll come to your question also. Chill. Hi, Chandralekha. Hi, Sopti. Did 3 out of 4 passages. All right. I think that's fine. Because with such a big surprise, and but then see, please understand that it was a surprise for everyone. It wasn't as if half of you were prepared for an AR section and half of you weren't. Everybody was prepared for a pure critical reasoning based section, and then everybody got AR. So the surprise was not just for one person. If this paper had been in 3 slots, then the first slot would have been surprised, the other two wouldn't have been. So everybody was, in the same boat. All of you got the toughie. So then that was something that at least that was okay. Level playing field. Ah, okay, you two, three, Sukriti. Okay, the game one was weird. Okay. I know LR might have been difficult because especially it was crazy. Oh, the center you got did not get. But then what was the point of having your watch? Even if you didn't have a watch, they still tell you now that the time is this much or that. Oh, Sukriti, I'm very sad about that. But then, yeah, I know this happened. But what can we do? That's life. Sometimes it throws a curveball at you. So, and Clad decided to do that. Well, see, in logical, essentially, AR is also part of it. Also, na, they've been giving you sets of AR, haven't they? Last year also they had one set of AR. So then this time they gave you four sets. Hi, Ira. So yeah, Namita. See, you get bell ringing every 30 minutes, so you know that it's happening. Okay, Chandralekha. All right, that's okay. Whatever you have done, you have done. It's now done and over with. Now it's time for AILET and lots more work in your English, right? Well, Sachdeva, if you had ignored it, but we were putting it in the mocks, it's not as if AR was not coming in the mocks. We were doing so many AR sets. Ira, okay, okay. Sorry, my girl. Sorry, sorry. Ira. My bad, huh? Is that IRS thingy, huh? IRA, IRA. And then I'll tell you, funnily, Amir Khan's daughter has the same spelling, na, and she's called Ira. So that was there in my mind. So my apologies, sweetie. All right, everyone. I hope all of you who are here, can you give me a quick yes, say hi, give me your name so that I know you're all here. And let's get started. I've got about 4 to 5 passages where we're going to be talking about, we're going to cover different types of questions. And I hope it's going to be helpful. If you have any things you want to ask me, also, please feel free to ask me. And we'll keep, doing this chit chat. Hi, Athar. Okay. So this chit chatting will happen, keep happening so that Leo, a slightly longish name you have. I'm not going to pronounce the whole thing. I will die. But I'm just going to say hi, Leo. And then you have such a beautiful name, Leonardo DiCaprio being my favorite actor and all of that. Spectator, I'll tell you what, the options in English were very simple. I don't think we had any doubts. Only in one question or two questions we had a discussion. One in that incognizant wala, and there was one more question where we had a discussion. But other than that, it was all very straight from the questions. No, Ira, I'm just going to do some practice sets with you guys. Okay. What can you get this time? I'm sorry, Prashant. I really can't say. It's like these things are very, very dicey. Sukriti, even in AILET, there are a lot of line specific questions. So, therefore, we also do that. If you look at AILET, it is essentially like that. They give you line specific questions, and that's why we do that. Yeah. Well, now whatever's happened has happened. Now we are just on to the new thing, next lap, next life. It's AILET time, and hopefully we'll do something better. And hopefully AILET will not throw out a surprise at us. So that I'm just crossing my fingers. No, Ira will not do anything for SLAT. When SLAT comes, we'll do SLAT. It's not just now, is it? Um, Give me what was the option for option A? I don't remember because there are different answer booklets, no? Yeah, Ishan, absolutely. See, I'll tell you what, if you're 50% sure, then you should mark. My feeling is that, Chandralekha, that if you're more than 50% sure, you should mark. Okay. Neil, if for a general candidate you would require 100, then for an OBC you would require around 85, maybe lesser. Yeah, and what was option two? Yeah, lacking intelligence only, yeah. 20th and 28th, na? So we will do something for SLAT also, most probably. Okay? So don't worry, it's going to happen. We will keep doing these things. Okay? All right. Where can you practice English for AILET other than do the actual AILET papers? The last 3 4 years, you will find them on your my zone. Anyone who is writing AILET must definitely do the last 3 year AILET papers. Not three, at least last 2 years. The third year was crazy. So at least last 2 years, please do the AILET paper. That's going to be really, really helpful for all of you. How should you eliminate options if you are stuck between two? See, remember, when we are eliminating options, we must use beast. I've already spoken to you about the beast thing. Beast stands for broad or narrow. E stands for extreme words. A stands for anything that is alien, that is not part of the passage. S stands for sidetrack, something that is mentioned in the passage and is not the right answer. And T stands for tone mismatch. Apart from this, anything that is patently false according to the passage will also be an incorrect option. So while you're eliminating, please make sure you eliminate these. Oh, Sachdeva, thank you. Yeah, I've done a lot of analysis. Uh, but a lot of analysis was also done by Savitri ma'am. So between the two of us, we've done a lot of the videos. No, AILET is not as unpredictable as CLAT, but then given the fact that why would CLAT be? Yes, 2023 pattern was different, Namita. That is why I'm saying don't do that. Do the last 2 years definitely, right? That will be helpful. There is no harm in doing it. So when you are eliminating, please make sure that you use the beast code: broad or narrow, E for extreme, A for alien, S for sidetrack, T for tone, and F for false, anything that is patently false. Use this. And even after this, if you are at two options, please go and cross check. Wow, what is the harm in cross checking? You have the paper in your hand, you don't even have to go anywhere. Just look, go to that particular line and cross check and mark your answer from that, guys. It's the best thing to do. Okay, every time please cross check your answers so that you are able to get to that. Okay, so let's get started. I think we've got some passages, some very interesting passages I've picked up, and I hope that you will find these to be useful. And in meantime, if you have any doubts, keep asking. We will keep discussing. Okay. All right, Sachdeva, very good. If you got only 2 or 3 wrong in reading comprehension, that's the goal. Ultimately, that's what we are training you for, to make sure that your accuracy is perfect, you work at a faster speed, and that you have concepts which are clear. All right, let's get started. Here is a small passage. Read this one, and then we will take a look at some questions that are associated with this passage. Okay, here you go. I'm giving you 2 minutes. The incognizant one was the one lacking intelligence. I think if you had seen the analysis, Rahul Reddy also discussed it. Dev Manu, I have many questions, different types that are here. Okay. So if you know it, good. All right. So in recent years, EVs have emerged as a catalyst for change, not only in terms of sustainable transportation, but also in empowering individuals to become micro entrepreneurs. Particularly in tier 2 markets where access to traditional job opportunities may be limited, EVs have opened up new avenues for women to assert their economic independence and contribute. So we are saying that EVs are becoming catalysts for change, for empowering individuals to become micro entrepreneurs, not just sustainable transportation, but as an empowerment. Especially in tier 2, it's women who are taking advantage of asserting their economic independence and contributing. So, an inspiring 25% of the women have started using EV to earn their livelihoods. Whether it is e-rickshaw, e-cart, e-bike, they're affordable, eco-friendly, and they're easily adaptable, right? And so therefore women are entering various service sectors like last mile delivery, transportation, and local commuting, so that they're able to generate income and uplift their communities. Spectator, will don't worry. At the end of the session, I will go through the figures of speech. But I had done figures of speech in the previous, this thing. In the CLAT marathon, I had covered a lot of figures of speech. I don't know, maybe you missed that one. Yeah. And I had covered, I think every one of them I had covered in class. In the marathon for CLAT. In our number 2 to 4, we had discussed them also. Anyway, that's all right. Here's your first question. So, is this about small business? Who is this passage about? Or what is this passage about? The popularity of EVs can be ascribed to it being one, the latest technology, two, a sustainable mode of transportation, three, a means of empowerment, and four, easily available. So I think you will be able to pick this up from the passage. Option number C, all right, I got that, dudes and dudettes. That option C, which says 2 and 3, that it is a sustainable mode of transportation and a means of empowerment. Okay, I'm going to check this one out. Let's take a minute and see. So the answer was it's the latest technology and that it is easily available. So it was given here very, very clearly that they are sustainable and that they are empowering, right? So latest technology and so here it was given their affordable and eco-friendly mode of transportation that is easily this thing. See, it has emerged as a catalyst for change, not only in terms of sustainable transportation, also empowering them. So you would get that. Oh, no, no. Then the answer should be option number 2 and 3, which was 2 and 3. I don't know why my answer is saying B. No, no. No, no. It should be C, 2 and 3. It is sustainable and means of empowerment. My bad, guys. No, no, no. Yeah, little girls are called dudettes. All right, let's look at the second question. A significant limitation of tier 2 cities is. What is the significant limitation? What do you mean by limitation? Can someone tell me what do you mean by limitation? Okay, I'm getting my answer as B, 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 B. Too many B's. It says this particularly in tier 2 markets where access to traditional job opportunities may be limited. Okay, so therefore, the dearth of sufficient number of jobs, and that is the limitation or the problem of the, yes, of the tier 2 cities. Very good. So that is the correct answer. All right, the word catalyst conveys that it is something what? That it initiates a sudden and important change, it becomes the end to justify the means, it contributes to sustainable growth, or is it something that surfaces at regular times? Quickly. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, I've started getting C, A, C. C or A, decide to kar lo. Is it something that initiates a sudden and important change, or is it something that contributes to sustainable growth? Where is the word catalyst given in your passage? Very quickly. Can someone tell me? Where is catalyst given in this passage? Now, somebody saying, no, wait, see. Acha, it's given in the very first line. Huh? They have emerged as a catalyst for change. So, can it be the end that justifies the mean? No. Is it something that surfaces at regular intervals of time? Obviously not. Okay. So, what should it be between these two answers? Which I'm sure you will be able to pick up also. Yeah, so catalyst is what? Something that allows you to change, right? It accelerates a change. And therefore, catalyst should be something that initiates a sudden and important change, right? It's a catalyst for change. Catalyst is something that causes change to happen. So, therefore, A. It is not about contributing to sustainable growth. Please understand, catalysis is not about sustainable growth. Okay, so answer will be A. Okay, here are two statements. You have to tell me which one is true, which one is false, and how are they connected. Yeah. All right, I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, I'm getting C and B between these two answers. Let's take a look. Easies are extremely versatile. Okay, and have a wide range to offer. Okay. E-rickshaws, e-cart, e-bikes, easily affordable, eco-friendly, that can be easily adaptable. So they're versatile, true. More women than men have bought EVs. Is this true? Do we even know this? So I don't think we know this. Yeah, because we don't know that. How many women? Yes, an inspiring 25% of women in these markets have bought it. But the men number we don't know, so then we'll just have to assume that it is false. So the answer then should be option number C, that one is true and two is false. Actually, two is not given, but you assume that, yeah, I know. It is not factually stated, but that is what you will have to say. If only 25% of the women have bought these, surely the men are much more. Yeah. Yes. So still we'll go with C only because one is true definitely. All right. The next one. Last mile delivery refers to the journey of the product reaching the customer's doorstep in the back of a delivery truck from the warehouse shelf at the plant. What is this last mile delivery? No, no, that maths is incorrect. That if it is 25% women, then 75% men, spectator. Don't do that maths. That maths is like really bad. It's like saying if 30% women are in jobs, then 70% men are in jobs. How is that maths happening? Yeah. So the last mile delivery is to the customer's house, right? So therefore, yes, absolutely, you guys have got it right. Reaching the customer's doorstep, that's the last mile delivery that the product is, that is the journey of the product. Absolutely. So it's like, see, can you think of any last mile delivery apps? or modes of last mile delivery? No, era, actually, you should have not marked. I mean, see, there are two options. One, you should have left it. Two, you mark that it is false. Okay, that's all. Ah, Blinkit, yes, that's one. Can you? Oh, everybody knows Blinkit. Does anyone not know any others? So there's Blinkit. There is Amazon. There's Flipkart. There is Mintra. Yeah, these are all last mile delivery only, right? They reach your door. Swiggy, Insta, Zepto, all the e-commerce. Yes, absolutely. Zomato, Big Basket, Tata New, Tata 1MG. So many of them. Not sponsored by Blinkit at all. We know it. For that matter, even CL is last mile delivery, isn't it? We are reaching you in your homes. Exactly. Geomart, of course, all of those. All of these are last mile delivery. Something reaching the customer, that is last mile delivery. I think dispute we should. If the consortium marks it B, unaware of their potential, we should dispute it. We will put out this thing, dispute if something like this happens. Sukriti, well, that's life, isn't it? Chalo, let's go to the next question. Okay, in which of the following sentences is the word avenue used in the same sense as given in the passage? Yes, so the avenues have opened up new avenues for women to assert their economic independence. Avenues means many modes, many methods, many paths, right? This one, Avenue of Golden Trees, is a road which is surrounded by trees. So that's incorrect. The author suggests several further avenues, so mode or paths. The lights are 22 Canning Avenue. This is house, so road. This avenue is a road, but not the literal. But we are not looking at the literal road there, right? Again, Central Avenue is a road, so does not work. The best answer will be option number B. Yeah. Yes, yes. Of course, B makes most sense. Logically, it is B. No, there cannot be any other answer. It has to be B. If you think of any other answers, then that will be absolutely incorrect. Yes, B means modes or paths. So, therefore, this was a simple question. All you needed to do was identify the meaning in the passage and then go and find that. So, yes. All right, the next one. In which sectors have electric vehicles enabled women to generate income and empower their communities in tier 2 markets? Arena is arena, no. Arena means uh, uh, places, okay? Fields. Avenue means path. Yes, this was an easy question. So it was last mile, transportation, and local commuting, which was option number C. which you could have just picked up like that, blindly. Yes, yes. All right, here's your next passage. So I hope that when we were doing the questions, yeah. You didn't find those questions that were in the exam. Yeah. All right. Here's the next passage. I'm going to give you 3-4 minutes to read it. We'll discuss it together and then we'll take a look at these questions. Well, spectator, that's life. So in Hindu philosophy, they say, na, whatever you will do, you will face it here only. So, well, that's how it happens. Okay, I'm removing myself from the screen and I want you guys to read this passage and solve it, and then we will discuss it. Okay? All right, I'm assuming that you guys are through with this passage. Okay, so this passage essentially is talking about biases in the AI systems within legal practice. So there have been lots of searches, researches, studies that are talking about are these, you know, is it biased? Is this data that you're using in that AI systems are using, are they biased? There are studies, they've shed light on complex ethical, societal, and legal implications which arise from integration of AI technologies, emphasizing the need for comprehensive framework and guidelines. So, if you want to use AI responsibly, you have to have laws and frameworks and guidelines. It is often seen to improve efficiency and lower the cost of public service by automating a lot of things. But AI systems in public service delivery can also be harmful. They can violate human rights. because they reinforce discrimination and undermine the privacy of digital personal data because it is being shared, and frequently lack transparency and accountability. How do you hold AI accountable for what it has done? Since AI algorithms are involved in decision making processes that affect lives, the consequences will be very, very bad. Dire means very bad if the technology goes awry. Awry means haywire. So AI solutions must work for humanity. The processes have to, even as the processes are getting automated. Now, look at this famous instance when hundreds of eligible Dutch families were wrongfully implicated in fraud by an algorithm and they were made to repay social assistance. The SIRI system risk indicator used in Netherlands gathers and compares data from different sources. So, a Dutch court recently concluded that legislation that established SIRI was insufficient, insufficiently protective against intrusion in private life. They're taking data from so many places, so that data privacy is being hampered. The SIRI system lacked transparency. Its targeting of disadvantages neighborhoods could amount to socioeconomic or migrant status discrimination. So this is the potential consequence of using biased algorithms, and if those algorithms make decisions, there's a problem. In policing also, if you have predictive algorithm which is traced on past crime data that replicates and amplifies existing systemic biases. So the passage is essentially about systemic biases existing in AI system. So I've got the passage here. I've got one question: what's the purpose of the SIRI system used in Netherlands? Yes, Sachdeva, the passage does talk about how AI use in public policy has its advantages, but the author is actually not talking about the advantages. Please remember that. The author is actually talking of the problems that will, or rather, one problem that is going to occur. That if the data is biased, the decisions or the things that the AI will do will be biased, right? So that is what he has said essentially. Now, what was the purpose of the SIRI system? To assess fraud risk by gathering and comparing data from different government sources, to improve public's trust in AI systems? No. To eliminate all instances of socio-economic discrimination? No. To regulate privacy laws related to AI usage? No. The correct answer, yes, is A. Very clearly, it was mentioned somewhere here. The SIRI system, what does it do? Yes. So I think all of you were able to give me: internet user Ishita, Namita, Hari, Saksham, Hitman, Arush, Sajdeva, Spectator, Saransh, Sukriti. Very good. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's look at the next one. Which of the following describes a critical issue with AI in public service delivery? What is this critical issue that we are talking about? AI systems make legal practice more expensive due to their complexity. AI improves efficiency but may also perpetuate systemic biases. AI technologies enhance social equity by reducing discrimination. AI algorithms ensure equal outcomes in all decision making processes. Okay, I'm getting B. The max time you should give. How much time do you have for the paper? I know, Saksham. It's very funny. You have a 2 hour paper and you have to do 50 questions here, 70 questions there, and then another 20 questions there. So GK questions is like, yeah, 120 minutes to do 150 questions, correct? Or 140 questions. Now, don't tell me in the seconds, huh? I will die. Exactly. So you are, Acha, also remember that OMRs have to be colored, have to be marked every page. So yes, the passage essentially was this, that AI systems improve efficiency but will perpetuate systemic biases. So I think you should take just about a minute to solve this. You cannot take more than a minute. Okay. Less than a Yeah. So 120 minutes, 150 questions. Yeah. So take as, I mean, not more than 1 minute. So every passage you will take 2 minutes to read the passage and then another 4 minutes to finish the questions. That's how. So 6 minutes for a 6 question passage or something like that. Okay, the Dutch court concluded that the legislation establishing the Syri system provided dash against intrusion into private life. Ample protection, insufficient protection, no clarity, unquestionable safeguards. What was it doing? Um, yeah, so that's what I said, na? Or 1 minute per question, a little less than 1 minute will be good, right? Yeah, it could be 10 also, na? Some passages sometimes have 10 questions, some have 6 to 8 questions also. Yeah. But ideally, you would want to do it in 1 minute per question only. Exactly. So therefore you have to sort of see. It's not that you're going to do all 50. That's also the thing, na? Yes, insufficient protection will be the correct answer. Okay. It is given also. It SIRI provided insufficient protection against intrusion in private life. All right. Each of the following is true regarding the challenges of AI system except. See, let's break it down from GK. How much time will you give to GK? 10 minutes? Ah, 10 minutes. I'm saying 10 minutes. Yeah. Then 50 minutes for English and 1 hour for logical. That's the breakup. Right? So 1 hour for logical because there are 70 questions, but also that the logical questions sometimes are much faster. So 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes is very decent. You could do it in less also, but again, would depend on how you are, at GK. But GK definitely you need to do because you want to get all the marks there. It's not that you don't want to. Okay. Yes, what's the answer to the fourth question? I know, nice boy. You just have to look at the statement and mark. So look, mark, look, mark, look, mark. But still, it will take some time. And also remember, it's also about the filling of the OMRs. Spectator, there is no way of avoiding fatigue there. You have to do those questions. Na? So, in your own mind, have clarity as to how many questions you will do. And then just do those many. Eilish 2023 was mad. That was a very bad year for AILET. Huh? But 24, 25 haven't been like this. Yes. So AI always ensures fair outcomes in decision making is something that we don't know. That's the one that's not true. Remember, true plus accept is so eliminate anything that's true. This is true, eliminate. This is true, eliminate. This is true, eliminate. So whatever is left is your answer. Always look at interpreting the question. So if it says true plus accept, that means it is false. Okay, if it is false plus accept, what is it going to be? Tell me. Yeah, if it is true plus accept is false, then what is false plus accept? Yes, it's going to be true. Very good. Okay. One more question. If it says, if true strengthens except, what will this be? What will you interpret this to be? What are you looking for now? Exactly, beta. That is what happens. You're in a flow, you just keep marking, marking, marking. You don't bother about anything. Please understand, don't try to go back and forth. Just finish. Go from the first to the end. Yes. So strengthen plus accept will be weaken. Very good. If it is saying if false, strengthen accept, then what? Remember, all negatives will cancel themselves out. Okay. So false and accept cancel themselves out. So therefore, yes, it is a strengthen question. So I cut out this false and this accept and I get strengthen. Exactly. If a question says if false, weaken, this actually means if true, strengthen. Okay. I'm telling you this interpretation because a lot of times you do get this type of questions and then you need to know this, right? Yeah. So strengthen and weaken, whatever your question is, always interpret the question correctly. That's most important. If you're able to interpret the question correctly, then you will be able to get your answers right also. Then it makes life much easier. The second one will be weaken. No, no, beta. Why will it be weaken? Okay, false plus accept. First of all, what is false plus accept? It is true. So eliminate everything that is false, and then whatever is left will be your answer. So false plus accept is equal to true. So the only one that is true is A. Not this, not this, not this. Okay. So answer will be option number A. This is true. This is false. This is false. This is false. All the false options have to be eliminated, guys. No, 5 will not be B, Prashant, spectator. Okay, Ishita, Dev. Okay. 5 will be, it is saying false accept. So all the ones that are false, you eliminate those. Na? So option B, it eliminated all risk of socioeconomic discrimination. That's false. Sairi did not do that. It provided robust protection. Where did it provide robust protection? It did not. So that's false. It did not gather data from government sources. Again, false. So all the ones that are false, I've eliminated. Then look at option A, which says it lacked transparency, and it did. The passage said that also, na? It lacked transparency. So that's the one that's true. Okay, and so your answer. Acha, I'm coming to that. If false, strengthen, accept. Okay, let me just come back to this. So please understand the false and the accept will cut themselves out. They will get cancelled. Two negatives cancel. So what is left is strengthen. Okay. This is like maths, no? Two negatives, however many negatives, just cut, cut, cut. Whatever remains falls into in pairs of twos will get out. All right, question number 6. Which of the following can be inferred as the primary source of discussion on AI systems in the passage? This discussion that is happening in the passage. Nice boy, please understand that it may happen. And I'm just prepping you for something that may happen. And it's not arbitrary. There are exams, big exams, which have questions like that. Okay. And because we know that these exams are all always given to surprises, you should be ready for it. Okay. I'm not saying that it will come. I'm saying that you be ready. All right. So, research studies on ethical society, excuse me, and legal implications of AI. These studies have shed light on complex societal, ethical, and legal implications arising from integration. So, yes, these are the studies, research studies, from where this entire discussion has been drawn. So, yes, the correct answer should have been option number D. So, good that you got this one. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is a very lovely passage. Huh? Okay, read and then we shall discuss. I'm going to remove myself from the screen so you have time to read and that you have then we will discuss it. Okay, here you go. Start. All right. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. So, what was this passage all about? Very interesting, huh? What does the author mean by saying that family is complicated? What is he trying to say when he says this thing? That family is complicated. That the definition and dynamics of family can vary. Yes, very good. Not that they're inherently dysfunctional, not that they're challenging only in legal context, and not that all families experience the same challenges. So it's just that the definition and dynamics can vary greatly. Very good. All right, let's look at the next one. Why does the author mention this quote from Anna Karenina? Yes, let's take a look at this one. Why is he mentioning this quote from Anna Karenina? To illustrate that all families face similar issues, to highlight the universal nature of family happiness, to introduce the variability in how family is perceived, to contrast it. Well, he says that when Tolstoy said in Anna Karenina this thing, by contrast, Keenan Thompson said something. So, yes, to introduce the variability in how family is perceived by different set of people. All right, yes. Okay, here's the next one. What does the phrase hard and fast definition most likely mean in the context of the passage? Yes, let's get your answers in. What is this hard and fast definition? Is it a definition that is universally agreed upon? It is one that applies only to legal context? Is it a rigid definition that does not change, or is it a flexible definition adaptable to all situations? D. No, no. Why D? Yes, C. I think so. Hard and fast definition. Where was this mentioned? Can someone show me? In which line was that hard and fast definition was mentioned? There's a hard and fast definition of what it means, right? And that definition can vary widely, right? So a rigid definition that does not change, but that can vary. Okay. He says, however, that is only true in the context of casual conversation. So, immediate family changes. Otherwise, there is a fixed definition, but that definition can vary according to this attorney. So, a rigid definition that cannot change. Okay. All right. Why does the author include examples from child custody and inmate visitation policy? Yeah. Why does he include all this stuff? All right, let's take a look. Why has he mentioned this? Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll come to that, Ira. Okay. Yeah, I'll come to the third question. Okay, let's do this and then we'll come back. So, why does the writer include examples from child custody cases and inmate visitation policies to show how legal definitions vary, to emphasize the importance of family, to compare different states, to argue against the rigid uh, definitions of family in legal context? So, what was the correct answer here? Who gave me the correct answer? Because he's talking about the legal definitions, right? And he wants to show you that the legal definition can vary in different cases. And that is why A, right? Okay, now let us go back to uh, the previous question. Okay, because there were many thoughts on that. So let's just go back. Okay, so what does the phrase hard and fast definition most likely mean in the context of the passage? Let's read this entire paragraph first. So, in other words, what we are talking about when we talk about immediate family is highly personal, and it could even change every time we talk about it depending on the context. So he says that immediate family is something that is highly personal and therefore it is subjective. So somebody could say something, say about what your immediate family is. Okay, and that's personal. However, that is only true in the context of casual conversation. So in casual conversation, immediate family is subjective. You can say anything to your immediate family. Some people can define friends as immediate family also. Then he says, in virtually any other context, there is a hard and fast definition of what it means. So now please understand, from this context, we have said that the immediate family definition is highly personal and it could change, okay, in the context of casual conversation. But otherwise, there is a fixed definition of what immediate family means. Okay, is that clear, everybody? Is that clear, everybody? That there is a fixed definition. Then the rest of the passage now goes to tell you that in different context, immediate family can have different meaning. Right? So then he gives you the examples of saying that, for example, in child custody case, which is a specific case, immediate family will mean parents, siblings, spouse, child by blood, adoption, marriage, grandparents, and grandchildren. Let's say for uh, deciding who is visiting an inmate, the immediate family may mean other things. So when you're saying immediate family, in casual conversation, it can change. Okay, but in other situations, in non casual, that is in formal situations, there is a strict definition of what immediate family is. Okay, that definition can vary in different situations. So for example, for a prison case it could mean something else, for a child custody case it could mean something else. So the hard and fast definition means something that is fixed. Okay, legally in different situations also that is fixed. So in child custody, immediate family will be fixed and it will have six people, six different sets of people. For, let's say, visiting an inmate, it may have 10 people. So hard and fast still means strictly true. Is that okay, everyone? Did you understand? Ira, Sukriti, Ishita, Jigisha, internet, Rahel, internet user, I hope you got it. Yeah, did you understand this one now? No, it is C. It is C. It is a rigid definition that does not change. When did I say D? I'm not saying it is flexible. I'm saying it is a rigid definition. No, because in different legal contexts also, Rahil, it will change. It doesn't remain the same, but it is a fixed definition. Oh, please understand, beta. Okay. So, in casual conversation, immediate family can mean friends, it can mean parents, it can mean brothers, it can mean sisters, XYZ, anything. Nobody cares. It is very flexible definition. Okay, this is flexible definition. But in all other cases, most probably in the legal cases, immediate family is defined. Okay, the definition may be different for different cases. So for example, for child custody, immediate family is X, Y, and Z. For prison cases, immediate family is P, Q, Z, and Y. Okay, but now this will not change. That if it's a child custody case for you, me, or Barack Obama, it will remain XYZ. If it is a prison case, then whether it is you, me, or XYZ, any person, the conditions will remain P, Q, Z, and Y. You understand? So the definition is fixed. Different cases may different hogi, but it's still fixed. Okay, got it now? Yeah, so well, this is a tough question. Sometimes I hope you got it. Ira, did you understand now? Because Ira was the one who said, "Ma'am, समझ नहीं आया," तो मैं उससे पूछूंगी. Ira, did you understand now? How is it rigid and yet varying in different cases? It is rigid, but it is very for different cases it remains rigid. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one, or otherwise we'll just sit on this one forever. Okay. Question number 5. How does the writer describe immediate family in casual conversation? All right. Now, this one I'm sure all of you will be able to do very easily because we've just discussed it to hell and back. Okay. So, yes. So, immediate family is done. Okay. What is the writer's primary purpose? What is he trying to do? I know, Ira. Nobody's going to remember anything else, not how we discussed immediate family. Well, yeah, that's what immediate family is to you. Yeah. So, explaining the challenges of defining family across context. I think that should be the correct answer, right? There cannot be any other answer here. Did you all give A as the answer? Oh, yes. Okay. Not a universal definition. He's not saying let's have it. Criticizing legal systems, no. Highlighting the importance of family, no. All right, here's the next one. The author emphasizes the concept of immediate family can vary depending on what, such as causal conversations, whatever, whatever. Yes, depending on the context. So, what is the context? It will change. So, if it is that discussion that we had actually broke open the entire passage and all the questions, didn't it? All right. So, in the context of child custody cases in Texas, the definition of immediate family includes what? Which may differ from other legal contexts, such as inmate visitation rules. Yes. It's not only blood relatives because it said child by blood, adoption, or marriage. So, therefore, it can't be C. Only step parents and in laws, no. Only parents and siblings, no. So, yes, parents, siblings, spouse, grandparents, children also. So, yeah. Okay. Private companies are allowed to define immediate family in their bereavement policies as long as those rules do not. Yeah, they don't violate. Absolutely. This is something that you had to interpret and perfectly good. All right, here's the next passage. And I'm going to remove myself from the screen. You guys read up and then we will discuss. Okay? Yeah. Elimination does this. A lot of questions you can do that. All right. I'm moving out now. Again, giving you some Thank God nobody was telling me to read it, huh? I didn't feel like reading it. Okay, so I hope you found this passage interesting. It talked about nobody is meant to be perfect in any area of life, whether it's body, relationship. Because in perfect world, everything is stagnant. Huh? There's no growth, no evolution. When you make mistakes, missteps, and experimentation, you learn and grow. So the author talks about his or her life. Most of the decisions that seemed irrational, not make sense, made it was a perfect fit path. Right? Life is funny, so he quit a stable job, had fun traveling to South America, moved across country, started a business, mistakenly found such a beautiful fundraising and development job. So the mistakes allowed him or her to see how perfection would have held them back. If the perfect path would have happened, then these life changing personal growth experiences would not have happened. So people who want everything perfect, they end up missing out on some of the best things in life. Okay, it is a refreshing way to view life, to allow ourselves to make mistakes is good. Whether you're messing up, whether you're making any sort of mistakes, these mistakes allow you to incorporate feedback and then chart a new course. If we're constantly striving for perfection, we'll miss out on all the good things, right? We'll miss out on life's most precious moment now. So perfection isn't something that you can achieve because it doesn't exist. So try to not be perfect. Just remember that imperfect, flawed, and vulnerable you is perfectly enough. What a lovely passage, huh? What did the author do after quitting a stable job? Okay, I'm getting C as my answer. Started a business, enrolled in a PG degree program, traveled South America, took a different job. I quit a stable job but had incredible adventures traveling South America. So, yes, C has to be the correct answer. All right. What can be inferred about the author's view on traditional life paths? Inference question, remember, it's something that is not mentioned but is the right understanding from whatever is given. They're always the best options for personal success. They may hinder personal growth and meaningful experience. They guarantee financial and emotional stability. They promote creativity and experimentation. All right. So, yes, the correct answer should have been that they may hinder personal growth and meaningful experiences if you just stick to the traditional life paths. Correct? So, it is only through mistakes, experimentation, missteps that you learn and grow. So, growth will only happen if you're not just stuck on the traditional perfect life path. All right. Based on the tone and subject matter, where is this passage most likely sourced from? A motivational blog, a historical account, a scientific research paper, a financial advice column. Wow, where is this passage coming from? Samir, are you singing? Ah, yeah, I know the next one is a tough one because that's about cryptocurrency and mining and all of that. So some passages have to be easy. Yeah. So now if life isn't perfect, it's perfectly okay. So this probably is a motivational blog, not history, not scientific, not financial advice. I would have liked it to be a financial advice column if they had just said that, oh, don't worry if you lose some money in a stock market. But they don't do that. Okay. So, what is the grammatical error in this sentence from the passage? These mistakes allowed me to see how perfection will have actually held me back. Okay, why D? So many of you have said D is the correct answer. Everybody has said. और वैसा वाला आ जाए इंटरनेट यूजर, प्रिजन वाला, immediate family. Yeah. Well, D is correct. Absolutely. These mistakes allowed me to see how perfection will have means for certain would have in the past. Okay. So when you're talking of the past, you're using would. या तो मुझे वैसे भी कर लेना. All right. What does the word stagnant most nearly mean in the passage? Is it dynamic, growing, motionless, or temporary? Of course, stagnant by itself means something that is not moving, that is still and rotting. Right? So it can't be dynamic, it can't be growing, it can't be temporary. Temporary doesn't make sense. So motionless is the best word here. That's the best option that you have. Right? Remember, stagnant is not just still, because still can have a very positive connotation also. But stagnant means it's unmoving and therefore it is something bad. Okay, so remember the tone of stagnant is always negative. The tone of still is always positive. Okay, so please remember that. All right. Charting a new course, what does that mean? Ira, for vocabulary, whenever you come across a difficult word, you should put it down in your vocabulary notebook and you should look it up. Use Google. Anytime you have Google, use it to check for meaning, synonym, antonym. Use it to check the root word. Hitman. Why did you give me a different answer? But you did give me A. Oh, you gave me A as the first answer. Okay, that's interesting. So, when you're talking about charting a new course, is it about exploring uncharted territories? Is it actually being adventurous, or is it to plan a new direction or a different direction in life? I think it's about planning a different direction in life. Though charting a new course actually comes from, it's a shipping idiom, right? So because you will draw a chart and create a plan of where you have to go, so that's where it is coming from. But in this context, as used in the passage, it's not about exploring uncharted territory, it's about a different plan, a different direction in life. Not to repeat, not to create a geographical map, that was absolutely not relevant. All right. Why does the author mention their irrational decisions in life? The author has made many irrational decisions. Well, what you can do is you can start working on word par made easy. There is a word list at the end of word par made easy. It has some 480 odd words, 83, 483 words, which you can actually do. That's very, very helpful. From what I have noticed, it's like really good. Okay. So that's something that you can do. Yes. So the author mentioned the irrational decisions because they want to show that these things can lead to positive growth, and they led to positive growths and opportunities in their life. Right? All right. What's the tone of the passage? Is it encouraging, pessimistic, critical, or detached? Okay, question 8, Saransh is saying is A, encouraging. Pessimistic, of course, is to have a negative outlook of the future. Critical is complaining. Detached is apathetic, unaffected by something. Right? So, not that, not that, not that. Yes, encouraging. Okay. What does the word flawed most nearly mean as used in the passage? What is this flawed talking about? Is it overlooked? Is it polished? Is it perfect? Is it imperfect? Yes, flawed, of course, is imperfect. And therefore, D is the correct answer. All right, very good. Yes, 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 absolutely. Perfectly perfect, you guys are, huh? Okay. Why does the why does striving for perfection cause people to miss out on life's best moments? Yes, tell me. What is this thing about perfection that causes you to, you know? Ah, हीरा इट इज इजी हाँ क्रिप्टो वाला थोड़ा सा बिकॉज क्रिप्टो का है तो हाँ सो परफेक्शन keeps people focused on the future rather than the present, right? So our eyes are always looking 3 steps ahead of where we are, and we're consistently living a few steps, so we miss out on what is happening now. Correct? All right, very good, excellent. And now let us come to the last passage for the day, which is a crazily tough passage. No, not a crazily tough passage, but yes, of all the ones that we are doing, systematically the level is going up. So this one might be a little more difficult, tougher to read, and please understand it's a little longer. I think what I want to do is just reduce the font size a little bit. Just a little bit. I think this will be a bit better for you to read. Yes, now read. Okay, read. I'm moving out of the screen. You can read. All right. I hope you have read it. Yeah. Yes. So Kriti has said something very right. Ira, if you don't even know it, you can just go through it two or three times. Please understand that these passages, any exam passage is not expecting you to have technical knowledge, right? So even if you don't know what GRU is, what crypto is, what mining is, you'll still be able to answer the questions. That's important, right? Yeah. So my thought here is that you don't know the technical stuff. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is read it a couple of times. That will help. So the question says the writer uses the phrase "make enough to cover electricity cost" to imply. What is he trying to say? That costly GPUs automatically guarantee better returns? That mining requires GPUs with the highest possible hash rates? That electricity usage is irrelevant if GPU is budget friendly? Or if mining profitably depends on managing operational expenses? What is it that the author wants to tell you? All right, I'm starting to get answers from you guys. Okay. D is the correct answer, that mining profitably depends on managing operational expenses. It says make enough to cover electricity costs. So you have to earn enough profits so that, or you have to earn enough to cover the cost of electricity, right? So the operational expenses have to be taken care of. So mining profitability, how profitable your mining is, will depend on the cost of the electricity, the cost of this data center, and all of that. So here we are talking of electricity. So operational expenses. Okay, that's the important thing. Yes, D, it is. Why not B? Why B? Okay. Mining requires please understand, being asked to interpret this portion of the statement, na? Make enough to cover electricity costs. So you are trying to identify what does this mean, not that, oh, there is a big passage here, everything is not the meaning, na? So mining requires GPUs with the highest possible hash rate, has nothing to do with making enough money to cover electricity costs, correct? So it can't be B, it can't be A, it can't be C, it is only D. All right, let's go to the next one. What does the phrase calling it a day suggest in the context of selecting a GPU? Yeah, apply. Beast can be applied anywhere. Beast can be applied in any situation, any question, anytime. Okay. So that's entirely up to you. You want to use beast. Okay. Yes, let's take a look at this question. What is it saying? What does the phrase calling it a day? Calling it a day in the context of selecting a GPU. So you make a rushed decision without thorough analysis. That's what calling it a day is. Okay, who will tell me where this phrase was mentioned? Very quickly. Which paragraph? Yeah. Second para, second line. Yes. choosing the best graphic card for crypto mining isn't as simple as picking the absolutely most expensive card you can locate and calling it a day. So just looking and solve doing it. So it cannot be picking something without doing analysis. So therefore, making a rush decision without thorough analysis, that's going, yeah, third paragraph, right? I suddenly I'm looking at the second paragraph and wondering where this answer is given, but that's okay. Yes, yes, we picked it up right here. This paragraph is where it is mentioned, calling it a day. So that's your answer. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Which detail about cryptocurrency mining is not covered under the section what is the best GPU for crypto mining? Okay. Is it A, the importance of calculating GPU efficiency? Is it B, the impact of media on cryptocurrency prices? C, suggestions for affordable GPU options? Or is it D, the influence of electricity costs on profitability? What is the correct answer? Which of these is not mentioned? So you find out which of these are mentioned, eliminate those, and whatever remains will be the correct answer. Yes, so it is the impact of media on cryptocurrency prices. That's the one that's not mentioned. The others are all there, right? That's your correct answer. Okay, why does the writer include subheadings like what is the best GPU for crypto mining? Take a minute. All right, let's take a look at this question. Okay. So the correct answer, yes, was D, that you have given to make the information more accessible to readers. That is why it is made these subheadings so that the passage is easy to understand for all of you. Okay? So that's the correct answer. All right, let's look at the next one. Choose the option with the words closest in meaning to resale value as used in the text. Okay, so what is the resale value thing? Let's take a minute and find out. Read and answer for me. Guys, just give me 10 seconds, please.
इसमें क्या फंक्शन नहीं मिला ना आपको? क्या चीज चाहिए आपको? ये गेमिंग टीवी बस उसके अलावा वो गूगल टीवी उसमें क्या चाहिए?
All right, so the resale value would be very clearly be the remaining word, second hand price, or trade in value, right? All right, let's go to the next one. What does the writer imply by suggesting that GPU should be evaluated for their hash rate? Let's take a moment and solve this one. All right, let's take a look at this question. What is the question? It is saying, what does the author imply by suggesting that GPU should be evaluated? The correct answer is A, that the speed at which GPU mine determine profitability. And so that's why you have to evaluate the GPU for the hash rate. Okay. All right, question number 7. According to the passage, why might one prefer an AMD Radeon RX over an NVIDIA GeForce 3060 Ti? Why would you prefer this one over that one? Very quickly. Come on, guys, let's get your answers in. Question number 7. What's your answer? Yes, 7, the correct answer. Yes, C, that it is more affordable while providing decent performance, and that's your correct answer. Okay, let's take a look at the next question. What tone does the author use in discussing cryptocurrency market? Is he cautious and realistic? Is he optimistic and promotional? Is he alarmist and critical? Is he dismissive and skeptical? Yes, let's wait a moment and see what the author is saying. I'm not able to see your comment, Vrinda. Okay, Vrinda. Wait, huh? Okay, the correct answer will be the author is cautious and realistic. He is discussing the crypto market but giving you an actual accurate picture about it. Okay, so yes, A should be the correct answer here. Let's look at the next one. The writer refers to media coverage of cryptocurrency to emphasize. Why does he talk about the media coverage of cryptocurrency? Again, let's take a moment and understand and identify this thing. Yeah. What is this media coverage all about? Is it the positive influence of news on cryptocurrency prices? Is it the financial risk of ignoring market trends? Is it the stability of mining as a long term investment? Or is it the unpredictability and volatility of the cryptocurrency market? Neil says D. The others, positive influence, no. Financial risk, stability of mining, no. The correct answer is D, unpredictability and volatility. All right, let's look at the 10th one. The phrase you're already in the green, what does that suggest? You're already in the green. What is green? If you're already in the green, what does that mean? Are you operating within environmentally sustainable practices? Are you covering costs? Are you being new to crypto mining? Or are you achieving efficiency without effort? Come on, guys. The correct answer will be B, covering costs and entering a profitable phase. Yes, you are in the green. That means you're covering costs and entering a profitable phase. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I am at the end of my session. If you have any questions that you wish to ask, ask away. We have 5 minutes before we end up the session. So you can quickly tell me what your questions are. Let's do this.
कोई नहीं आपको दे भैया आपको तो हमारी जवाबदारी
Vrinda, yes, I will take you to the question number 5 where we are. Yes. Okay. Resale value, where would you find resale value? What is resale value? Tell me. What should your answer be, bete? Resale value will be whatever is the remaining worth, na? So that is what I have told you. If I'm selling something from one to another, the resale value as used in the text is remaining worth, whatever is remaining. So that's your answer. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for being here. All the best for AILET. I hope you do your AILET very well. Do it very coolly, calmly, with a clean, crisp mind. Remember to carry your water bottle, your ID, your admit card. Find out where your AILET center is and then do your AILET very, very well. All the best, guys. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.